Wouldn't it be lovely if you just purchased an Italian villa? Okay, so for most of us, that's not an attainable goal, either because you have family commitments or your job or whatever. But let me tell you, for my husband and myself, the dream is still alive. So what if you spruced up your kitchen a little bit so that it looked like you have an Italian villa? I'm talking about a new look by just doing a few tweaks. That's what we're talking about today, is how to get that Italian villa look in your own home, whether you live on the East Coast or the West Coast or the Midwest, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're gonna bring a little bit of Italian sunshine to your kitchen. Welcome friends, I'm Victoria. This is Fortuna Cucina and I am the cruise director here. You will find on my blog, I have tons of recipes that are Italian inspired. I come from an Italian American family, and so a lot of my recipes are Italian inspired, but they're quick and they're easy and delicious. And this is stuff that you can do even on a weeknight, even when you're looking for a quick meal for you and your family. So check out the blog. So today we're going to be talking about a couple things that you can do to tweak your kitchen so you look like you live in an Italian villa. Well, I want to share with you before we get started that my husband and I have a little bit of a problem. And we watch these shows that are all about, they're like real estate shows from Italy showing you an Italian villa out in the middle of nowhere for like 250,000 euros. It's just bonkers, right? And so of course, there's probably no internet connection because there's nothing around. And the closest little village is like 30 minutes away. But doesn't that sound lovely? I would be in the garden all day, every day, trying to grow tomatoes and stuff. And anyway, but at the same point in time, right now we live in Texas and we have commitments here and my son is just going into high school. So that dream may need to go on pause for just a hot minute. So when we're looking at getting an Italian look, when you watch those videos, and I can connect a few of them below. One of them is Nick Ferrand and his One Take Italian Property Tours. Okay, those are my husband's favorites. And Nick's a British guy and he's very funny. But when you look at these homes, a lot of times they're sold with the furniture. And sometimes it's very antique furniture. Sometimes it is a little bit retro. Sometimes it's mid-century. But many times it's very antique-y furniture. So my first tip for you is to see what antique-y stuff you already have that you could build a theme around in your kitchen. Maybe it's antique-y looking bar stools. That would be cute. Or a particular vase, however you say it, that is in your kitchen that you want to be your centerpiece, okay? We're gonna find one focal point. Let's talk about a few things I would look out for that can help you with that Italian vibe. So the first thing I would look at is that's super simple. Cloth napkin, cloth tablecloth. This is kind of an old school thing. I don't know a whole lot of people that do, aside from the holidays, like a regular tablecloth anymore. And actually, when I have had cooking classes here at my home, I always set the table like people are gonna come over and eat for a holiday. So I will pick a set of my cloth napkins, and then I have a nice white tablecloth that I use. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if someone spills anything with sauce on it, it doesn't matter. I think it's a different vibe having the cloth tablecloth than not. I'm putting a couple inspiration ideas for you in the description box. Next thing, practical kitchen items include a giant handheld strainer. Okay, if you're gonna be cooking pasta, pasta water is like the holy grail of ingredients for a good pasta dish. So I would highly suggest having a large strainer of some sort where you can fish out your pasta and reserve the pasta water. Italians do not go and have all the pasta water go down the drain. That's how you finish your sauce most of the time. So unless it's something that's very specific that you don't need pasta water for, I find that most people who cook legit Italian food reserve the pasta water until they know that they don't need any more. Huge hand pasta strainer, perfect. Handmade pasta cutters are perfect for this look. Okay, if you have not already checked it out, I'm gonna link it below. I have my pasta recipe. This is super easy, roughly 100 grams of flour to 1 egg. In my blog, you will find all the instructions for how to make homemade pasta, including the flour I use, everything. So make sure you check that out. But you can get cute little pizza cutters, pasta cutters that have like crinkly edges or whatever, and this is super fun to use when you're making your homemade pasta. Next, we have charcuterie boards, which is perfect for your antipasti. Now, antipasti is something that I find that you don't hear about a whole lot when you go to an Italian restaurant anymore. And actually, this is a big gripe of mine about Italian restaurants in general. And I find it's difficult for me to go out and enjoy a meal in an Italian restaurant because I grew up in the era of the neighborhood restaurant. And if you know, you know. It was like the little mom and pop place. They had like the world's best focaccia, all of the things, and many times they bring out antipasti before your meal. And that could be like little olives or some type of salami or prosciutto or pepperoncini. Like they have all of the things on there. And so I included wood charcuterie boards for your own antipasti. And I absolutely love this. And if you want to be really fancy, instead of doing charcuterie, you can be like, that's my antipasti, okay? What else would I use for Italianifying your kitchen? Olive wood, everything, okay? If you're still using silicone stuff to cook with, stop, okay? That shit is melting in your food. And plastic, silicone, and for the love of God, don't use that black plastic stuff. It comes from melted computer parts, if you can believe that. This is why I love using wooden spoons and wooden ladles. I find that the olive ones are beautiful, and provided that you don't get any cracks in them, they last for quite some time. So I'll do another video sometime on how to take care of your wooden cutting boards and all your wooden spoons and stuff like that. Pasta bowls are super helpful. If you don't have some and you serve pasta at any point in time, you should get some. I had a set of 4. One of them busted. I do not cry over these things. And I need to get another set of pasta bowls. So I'm including a couple examples for you, but I would get some. They're easy peasy and make presenting your pasta really beautiful. Okay, so if you really want to go Italian, I found this picture of Sophia Loren eating pasta on Amazon. I love it. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me to enjoy life. She did a gazillion different interviews talking about how she ate pasta every day. She just ate what she wanted every day. And can you imagine just having like being beautiful, glorious body and everything like that, and just being like, oh, I'm gonna eat pasta every day. Wouldn't that be fantastic? So I think this picture of Sophia Loren gives you such a great vibe in terms of your kitchen. So consider it. The next thing is, what about vintage rugs? Okay, so I mentioned the vintage, but I found these rugs on Amazon, and it kind of reminds me of which I think it's Ruggable that makes the washable rugs. And I don't know what happened to my Ruggable when we moved from California to Texas. No clue. I know that it had a huge stain that I could not get out of it. I don't even know what it was. But it was stained. We couldn't get it out, and it was too big for the washing machine that we had. So I really would need to take it to a laundromat. So I did find some cute vintage rugs that they're like little baby runners that you can put in your kitchen. And And my only comment about that is then you have to make sure that you're washing them frequently, because otherwise you're gonna get like whatever you're cooking or whatever on there, or you know what I mean? Spills happen. That's my only comment, is make sure that those are on a solid rotation. Just like with dishcloths, I make sure that I wash those every night. I switch them out because bacteria is a legit thing. All right, friends, that's my video for today. I know you're used to seeing recipes and that sort of thing. I'm gonna be back next week with a recipe. All right, friends, take care. I will see you next time.